advisor as well as education advisor, coming live like every week from my beautiful town of Hamilton in New Zealand, in the North Island of New Zealand. And yeah, this is where I live with my family and along with my wonderful team of people spread across New Zealand, India, and now we have one of our members also working out of the United States of America. So we are a global group of people who are come together into this company called HIV Services. And what HIV Services does is we assist, deserving and talented people from different parts of the world who would like to seek an opportunity in New Zealand on a temporary basis or on a more permanent basis. So people want to come to New Zealand for, either to study here or work here or live here or set up a business here or just to travel to New Zealand. And what my team and I do is that we facilitate the entry of all those beautiful people from different parts of the world who would like to come to New Zealand. How do we do that? I do it because I have that, which is called a license from the government of New Zealand to provide immigration advice. There are three of us in our company, myself and my senior colleagues, Mary, as well as Gisela. We are all licensed immigration advisors. And then there are 30 odd other people, which includes a lot of ex-immigration professionals. And what we do as a team is to help people to come to New Zealand either for a temporary reason or on a more permanent basis if they want to live in New Zealand. And why do we do that? Because New Zealand is a fantastic country which is doing really well, on the economic front, and we are growing. But unfortunately, we have a shortage of skilled people, so we need to attract a lot of skilled people to come and become part of our workforce and kind of keep our economy rolling over. So yeah, that's the reason. We are the matchmakers. We find good, talented people like you from different parts of the world, engage you in a discussion, and then we help you, assist you with our information and services to ensure that you come into New Zealand. So yeah, that's my opening spiel as always. And here we get started. Before I get started, I wanted to today highlight upon a very interesting phenomenon that occurs in our line of work, which is that sometimes we meet, people like yourself, some very smart, young, talented people who come to us and say, hey, look, I have this desire to go to New Zealand and do something there. And we kind of, start the process. And this process is not easy, guys. It is, and girls, it is not an easy process. It starts with that basic thought in your mind of the desire to seek a better life for yourself. And then you get in touch with somebody like us. We start talking to you and conversing with you. And then we put forward all the different pathways in front of you. And then you start working towards it. And then more often than not, it will be a study pathway because, a lot of international students pathway into residency. So you start that process. There's a lot of documentation involved. There's a lot of effort involved from your side, our side, a lot of time involved. And then you take this decision, we keep going forward and forward and forward, step after step. And you finally reach that point where you actually have the visa in your hand, which by in itself is a fantastic thing because the government of New Zealand does not give visas to each and every Tom, Dick, and Harry who applies for a visa, but they do undertake certain checks to make sure your English is good, your funds are good, your academic and work track record is good, and that you're coming here for the right sincere purpose. And then they sanction you that visa, and the institution is also given you that admission, and we have put in the effort to counsel you, guide you, and told you that we are also present in New Zealand to help you after you land here. And then some of you people, unfortunately, after you get the visa, decide to withdraw and say, no, I mean, but I spoke to some other people in New Zealand, and they're saying that there are not enough opportunities in New Zealand, or they're discouraging me, and they're telling me, please don't come there. And we feel terrible at that moment because I'll be honest, guys. Yes, as a business for us, it is of course a loss for us because we have been working with you and spending a lot of time, money, and effort to ensure that you reach New Zealand. And when you say no, I will not go to New Zealand after all this effort, there is no revenue for us. So obviously, it's a loss for us. No problem in accepting that. But the bigger loss is for you. And in this particular instance, I am talking about a young person called Vijay who's been working with us and he got his visa. Everything is ready to get on a plane and come to New Zealand. But apparently, he got in touch with some people here in New Zealand and who have been discouraging him and saying there are no opportunities in this country. Don't come here. And I feel so bad for you, Vijay. And this is a personal direct message to you, Vijay. I feel so terribly bad for you because you have kind of gone and climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed this mountain, and at the last ridge where you can reach the peak, you're kind of withdrawing. It is like you're putting your hands up and saying, no, this is not. Why? Based on the experience of some foolish people who do not have your caliber, who do not have your intellect, who do not have your knowledge, nor do they have the support of your advisors like all of us. If you land here, Vijay, I promise you, we the guys will take care of you. I personally will meet you and ensure and help that you will be able to keep progressing. So don't throw in the towel at such an early stage in the game, because it also shows that the little weakness in your character, because going abroad is not for everybody, Vijay. It is for people with determination, with guts, because no guts, no glory. And so unfortunately you come this far, and the immigration department of New Zealand is also going to flag you in their records and say, wow, this guy put all of us with so much effort, and now is not even ready to go there. I mean, unless until it was a proper, reason, like some event in the family or something. So, they will also lose their confidence in you. And the next time, if you want to apply for a visa, more than likely they will reject it, and we will also have to update them and tell them that you have not done it and there were no valid reasons put forward. So, but bottom line, Vijay, I think you're doing a very, very big mistake in your life that you're going to regret for the rest of your life. You are coming to one of the most beautiful, you were about to come to one of the most beautiful countries on earth, which requires young, talented people like yourself. And there are people like us who are present in New Zealand who could have held your hand and walked with you and ensured everything was okay for you, just like all our other hundreds and thousands of our wonderfully successful clients who are now already, present in New Zealand and living as citizens and residents, and or long-term work visa holders. So I don't know. I'm just very disappointed with you, Vijay, and I hope you will reconsider your decision. Come to New Zealand, we will take care of you. That's my personal promise to you. All right? Okay, moving on. Okay, as always, I am supported by my wonderful team here on Skype, and these guys will keep letting me know who you are and what your background is. Because if you're talking to us already and you're connected to one of our team members, I will know immediately on my Skype chat that, yay, that is an AJV student. And if you're an AJV student, it means I give you my personal attention and, take it forward from there. But hey, look, the other thing is this is coming live on YouTube as well as on Facebook. I request all my friends and, people who follow my work on YouTube to please come to Facebook. It is running live on Facebook at a page called AJV Global, which is our official page. So yeah, hey, look, just come join the party and ask questions there, and we will take it forward from there. Cool. Moving on. CH Ripple says hello, sir. Hi, Ripple. Satya says hi, Mariam. My name is not Mariam, but we do have a colleague called Mariam. Yeah, sure. Hey guys, the other rules of this chat is you will have to provide your number for me to be able to answer your question, because no number means you're not willing to share your contact details, and which means I will not be able to share my information. All right, cool. Okay, there is a question from Fernando who says, I've completed my degree in logistics and supply chain. Okay, it's a very long question. And it says he's got 1.5 years of work experience as well, and he has selected a few courses for masters. Could you please elaborate? Masters in business management, Canterbury University, masters in supply chain management, Massey, masters in commerce, Otago, masters in international trade, Victoria. Does Canterbury have research masters in business commerce? I would more prefer a research based masters, and could you please give some pros and cons as well? And also I would like to know what is the least expensive city among above mentioned university-based cities. And Fernando has shared his number, which is great. Fernando, I think all of them are fantastic institutions, and because you come with a background already in logistics and supply chain management, we would like you to consider doing something which either continues in the same thing, or you can do a more general management kind of a course. I mean, in my view, unless and until you're a hardcore supply chain management professional already, my recommendation to you would be to try and choose a more generic management kind of a course, because it improves your chances of getting a career in various other fields, because you already have the background of supply chain and logistics from your previous bachelor's as well as your experience. So why not, you already had that, so why not add a general management masters to that? Because when you do a general management, you're kind of widening the scope of where you can end up in your career, which could be in administration or finance or marketing and sales, or various other aspects which comprise of business, just like supply chain and logistics. Sorry, so you already have one arrow in your quiver, so my suggestion would be to add another arrow to your quiver. As regards which city, yeah, I mean, hey, look, any city is good in New Zealand, because you're planning to come for a master's, you will end up with a 3 years post-study work visa, irrespective of the city you go to. But my recommendation would be to move out of Auckland, because going forward in future, if you also get a job related to your course outside Auckland, you get 30 extra points, which can be a massive boost for your resident visa application. So my recommendation would be to look at something outside Auckland. But otherwise, all the courses you have chosen are good. But I would strongly recommend a master in general management, so that it adds more depth to your existing knowledge, and improve your chances of future career. All right. Thanks for sharing your number. Our team will get in touch with you, have a chat with them. And please remember, one of the most critical components of success in New Zealand is not just the course and the city, but also the advisors you're going to be working with. And I think that is where we at AJV are so different from a lot of other organizations, which also help students to come to New Zealand, because what they are doing is they are doing a good job of admission and visa and putting you on a plane, waving goodbye and sending you away. But what we are doing is we have a team which does all your admission and visa process, puts you on a plane and waves goodbye. But then there's another team here in New Zealand that again waves welcome when you land in New Zealand, and then we pick up that relationship from there. And that's the reason I think a lot of our students are super successful. And we would love all of you guys and girls who are listening into this to come and join that bunch of people as well. And how do you get in touch with us? It is simple, guys. That's my very popular board now, where you guys can get in touch with us. What you got to do is, I mean, because we get a lot of our clients from India, we've set up a toll-free number in India there. So we can call that. If you're not from India, just send us an email. And if you're already in New Zealand and you're looking at further services for visas like work visas or resident visas, or you want to get your spouse to New Zealand, you got to get in touch with my wonderful colleague, Mary Joseph, who also comes live, by the way, every week. She's also a fellow licensed immigration advisor. And between the two of us, we give out as much information as we can. All right, cool. Moving on, there is a question from Harshal Patel, and he says, "Sir, currently embassy takes very long time to issue visas. Therefore, many students are worried about their visas. Give some clarifications on that. Have submitted my visa file on 21st January, but still there is no update." Hey, look, Harshal, I don't think you're an AJV student, because if you were an AJV student, we would have already given you an update, because what we're doing is we're getting very aggressive and trying to get information, with about our applicants. So because you've not applied through us, unfortunately, Arshil, you will just have to wait and watch, and that's pretty much it. Okay. And Fernando, coming back to your earlier answer and question, I have an update from my team, Fernando, that you're not responding to my colleague Mariam, who has been trying to get in touch with you. Please get in touch with her, because we will not be able to help you, Fernando, unless and until you are talking to us. And as I keep saying in every broadcast of mine, the least courtesy you guys have to exhibit towards us is, just to communicate. And at the end of it all, if you want to decide to go and work with some other agency, that's your call. I would actually call it your bad luck, but that's your call. But we are not the kind of people who are going to kind of latch onto you and say, "Oh, you only have to work with us." But the least courtesy you've got to extend to us, Fernando, is to at least respond back to my colleague who's trying to. And but like I said, listen to her or him, and understand what are all the benefits and advantages you have of working with AJV. And after all that, you still feel you want to go with some other agency, all the best. But unfortunately, we will not be able to answer anything once you land in New Zealand. In fact, we provide a lot of free advice and support to our students who land in New Zealand. And if you're not an AJV student, unfortunately, we will not be able to do that. We also offer a lot of other benefits to our students, And I'm telling you guys, this might sound like I'm selling my services, which of course I am, but the amount of advice you require after you reach New Zealand is incredible. And all my students have the right to pick up the phone and call me anytime, or Mary or Virginia, our customer service manager, or and many of our other colleagues who are already here in New Zealand. So don't let go of this massive advantage of having a person in New Zealand who is a New Zealander and his team of people who will work with you and ensure you get you're like little babies who are entering a new swimming pool. You need some coaches to help you to swim and become strong swimmers. So I would strongly recommend pick and choose to work with AJB. All right. Okay, moving on. Virendra Singh Taguna says, I want to work in New Zealand. Virendra, you've got to share your number, Virendra. Sam Dectile, nice name. I like that. Sam Dectile. Why does it ring a bell? I think that, oh, I'm thinking of Tactile. Right. Sam Tactile says, hi, I would like to apply for my residency. I'm a manager in a restaurant. Been here 3 years. Call me at 022 number if you would like to discuss. Hey, Sam, what I would recommend is could you give Mary a text or a call on that number there, 022 605 2615. I had to peep under that. And, she is our senior manager as well as a fellow licensed immigration advisor, and she will have a chat with you, get the more information and discuss with me or with Gisela, who is also our senior advisor. And if you're working as a chef, which is fantastic, Sam, we would love to work with you and take it forward from there. All right, cool. Satya Vadivelu asks me, is there a direct immigration process without study, or we have to go studies? Satya, you need to share your number, but I'm going to answer that very briefly. Unless and when there are two rules you've got to fulfill, one of them at least has to be ticked before you can apply for direct residency in New Zealand. One, either you should have an offer of skilled employment in New Zealand or be in skilled employment in New Zealand, or two, you should have studied in New Zealand for at least 2 years and qualified with a master's or PhD. So if you do not have one of these tick marks, you will not be able to apply for a direct resident visa, and which is where the study plus settle pathway works beautifully, because uh, what happens is once you reach here to New Zealand and you do the study plus settle pathway, if you're choosing the right course, you'll get a 1, 2, or 3 years post study work visa. And in that 3 years post study work visa, with the help of people like us, if you're an AJV student, you can also pick up a relevant job that matches the course you've completed. And when you get the job, you actually take that first question mark, which is question, or the first condition, which is that you need to have skilled employment in New Zealand, and that's when you can apply for your resident visa. So unfortunately, Satya, if you're not ticking any one of these two boxes, it is very difficult for you to apply for direct resident visa. And I just got a confirmation, Satya, from my team that you actually were talking to my colleague Mariam, but then you kind of dropped your plans, and then you were not willing to start the process. May I recommend that you actually start the process, because there is no money involved. Pass on your documents, let's get the admission letter, and you have the right, you have the option to withdraw, to kind of stop the process at any time. But as long as it's not costing you any money, and the thought is there at the back of your mind that you would like to explore this New Zealand opportunity, and that's the reason you obviously connected with my team, and then now you're now coming onto my live session and querying me about it. I think you should just keep moving one step at a time. At any step you think, hey, look, this is not for me, the money is not working out, or something else is not working out, drop it and walk away. But I think you guys must keep taking those steps forward, and at any point it doesn't work out, walk away, no problem, because for every student who drops and walks away, we get 10 more. So we are not to hassle either. But hey, look, we gotta keep working together, hold our hands and keep walking forward, and hopefully you will end up becoming a future resident and citizen of this beautiful, beautiful country, which I call home today with my family. And I must tell you guys, if you're thinking about New Zealand, please pursue that dream seriously, because, it's one of the most amazing places to live on earth. One life, live it well. All right, cool. Whipple asks me, Uh, how was the scope of building service engineer in New Zealand? And Vipul is actually one of our students, and I have confirmation from my team that he has got an offer for a graduate diploma in building services, and you are about to apply for your visa. Hey, Vipul, first and foremost, thank you so much for choosing to work with HIV. We are very, very happy about it, very thankful, and appreciate your trust and faith in us. I think you're choosing a good subject. Building service engineers in New Zealand are in shortage at the moment. We are having a massive construction boom in New Zealand at the moment. In fact, to the extent that the government has actually come out with a new skill shortage list called building, I think it's called building and infrastructure uh, construction skill shortage list. So you're absolutely coming in to do a course in one of our booming sectors at the moment. You're going to Welltech, which is one of our really, really well-known institutions. It's owned and operated by the government of New Zealand. So and then you have us to support you, people. So I think all things put together, you will do really well. All right. And once again, thank you so much for choosing to work with HIV. Much appreciated. Cool. Next one, Ranil Das. What are the scope? What are the scope for Ranit Das has shared his uh, query and his number. What is the scope for sports management in New Zealand? I'm currently working as a sports journalist in India. Which colleges offer the course, and will it be a good idea to study there and get a job and PR? Hey, Ranit, good question actually, and I must be honest because I'm the friendly and frank immigration advisor and education advisor. So I'll be honest, I think in sports management, your scope might be quite limited because of the fact that, yeah, I mean, New Zealand is a very sports orientated country. We have a lot of games in sports, and I'm not sure if this fact is right, but apparently we are the highest medal winners at the Olympics on a per capita basis. So for a small country, we absolutely punch above our weight, and so we are pretty mad about our sports, whether it is rugby in the winters or cricket in summers or netball for the girls and volleyball, football. We are very big in rowing at the moment, and of course sailing and stuff like that. So very strongly sport orientated country for sure. So definitely, but I think for you to get into a sports manager kind of a position here may not be very easy because sports is I think slightly clannish kind of setups. So you've got to kind of work your way up, and because you'll be coming in to New Zealand as outsider basically, and for you to get in and work your way up might take some time. But considering that you have a good background in journalism, and I'm thinking that your English skills will be right up there. How about considering a general management course? Instead of specifically getting only into sports management, because you already have that background in sports anyway, which is in as a sports journalist or a bit of sports management. So my recommendation to you, Ranat, would be why don't you come in and do a general management course and yeah, I mean, that will also open up your scope because then you're not restricting yourself only to sports, and you kind of are able to move it. You could move into the education industry, for instance, or you could move into the retail industry, or you could move into the services industry if you're doing a general management course and if your English skills are good, which I'm expecting them to be because you're obviously a journalist. I think you would have a much wider scope rather than relegating yourself only to sport. And of course, can also seek opportunities in the sport arena as well. And as long as you get a job which is relevant to your course, I think you'd be good. So thanks for sharing your query, which is very good, by the way, and also for sharing your area of interest. So wait for a call from my team, and when they connect, please have a good, open, honest discussion with them. And like I said, we are not people who will pressurize you into any kind of a decision, but please do talk to us openly because hey guys, we are like doctors. If we have to give you the right medicine or give you the right solution, you've got to discuss all your symptoms and your inside feelings of how your body is feeling, and then we'll be able to put out because sometimes people hide certain facts from us, like some people hide from us saying they're married, or they hide the fact that they're divorced, or but it won't help us to tailor make the right solution for you. So The other thing, Ranit, is if you're married, that might be another option where your wife could possibly come for a course and you could come on a work visa and then uh, seek opportunities. So, yeah, various options. All right, cool. Excuse me. Okay, Vipul, I have already answered your question. Varsha, excuse me, guys. I'm Varsha. I'm HAV client. I have applied in Lincoln University before 1 month, but I didn't get the offer letter yet. In the last live, you told you will contact with the university and inform. Okay, right. So I'm getting an update from my team, Varsha. Thanks for bringing it to my notice again. Um, So we are now in touch with Sheetal, who is the international recruitment manager at Lincoln Varsha, and we are pushing her, as well as we are in touch with another person called Hillary as well at the university, and we are pushing for it. I'm going to make a note of this, and we will get back on the phone tomorrow. Excuse me, with Lincoln University, and we will push them and see that this thing goes through Varsha. But thanks for bringing it to my notice again. All right, cool. Cool. Next question is from Sumit Bhatia. Hello, sir. Please let me know about Otago Polytechnic, Auckland International Campus for degree course in information technology. Hey, Sumit, good course choice. Again, Otago Polytechnic is owned and operated by the government of New Zealand, and Otago Polytechnic is originally headquartered in the city of Dunedin in the South Island, but because there was a lot of demand from international students who wanted to study their courses, but in Auckland, so they set up an Auckland campus. So I've been to that campus. In fact, my colleague Mary and I, we actually delivered an immigration seminar in that campus. Vibrant campus, good campus, and yeah, absolutely, I would recommend it. Not a problem, especially if you're gonna come for a degree in information technology. If you do a degree course, you will get a 3 year post study work visa, whether you study in Auckland or outside Auckland, which is great. And you're also choosing information technology, which is in our long term skill shortage area. So that's also fantastic. And the last choice you've got to make is to work with AJV because we can be your local onshore guides and advisors and mentors and friends. And together we can help you to go to your end destination of a career and hopeful residency in New Zealand. All right. So all things put together, Sumit, I think it's a good choice that you're making. Excuse me. Right, and Sumit, I have a bit of a complaint from about you that you were in touch in February with our my colleague Neha, and you were actually seeking a bachelor's degree for your wife. And then after that, there's been a bit of silence from your end. So, Sumit, request you to get back in touch with Neha, and we would love to work with you and your wife and ensure that she gets her visa and you get your visa as well. And we will stand by both of you. Please go back and watch all our fantastic testimonials that are being given to us by our students. We are not coaching them to say all these nice things. They are just getting in front of a camera, which, by the way, is also being shot by an AJV student who is now doing a course in filmmaking at the University of Waikato. So it's all going really well. So, hey, look, guys, anybody who doubts whether what we say in those live sessions that it is working, there is proper, honest truth and testimonials from people who are already in New Zealand and, talking about their experiences about New Zealand, about their courses, and about working with AJV. So please do take a look. They're all being hosted on our YouTube channel called AJV Global. So please go to YouTube and type AJV Global and you will get that channel. Likewise, if you type my name into YouTube, Aaron Jacob, and you might want to put New Zealand, there'll be some 230 odd videos where I give a lot of information about New Zealand education and migration. All right, cool. Next question. Okay. Nizar Ahmed has not shared his number, and I will have to skip that. Awais Khan says it's good to see you again and again. Hey, Awais, same here. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to see that people recognize the effort I put in. Really appreciate that. Nizar Ahmed asks, is PTA accepted in New Zealand? Absolutely, Nizar, not a problem. PTA is definitely accepted. And Nizar has also shared his number, which is fantastic. So, and he says, what is the procedure to apply in PhD in architecture, urban planning in New Zealand? Hey, Nizar, it's pretty similar to applying for any other course, really. But I think the extra difference with a PhD is the fact that you need to find a supervisor, and of course, prior to that, you will need to have an outline of the proposed research you plan to carry out. And then, with our help, we can look at the most probable universities, and then we'll help you to apply this. So that really, that's just the real small difference that is the between you know uh, the PhD applications as well as the regular applications. Okay. But you know what? Thanks for sharing your number, and we will get in touch with you and walk you through the PhD application. A lot of benefits of doing a PhD in New Zealand. In fact, I have made a full-fledged video, and it is sitting on my channel called Arun Jacob. If you go to Arun Jacob on YouTube and uh, just search for PhD in New Zealand, and it tells you all the benefits of doing a PhD in New Zealand, which briefly are domestic fees. You might get full funding if your research is really good. You get full work rights. If you're married, your spouse gets full work rights, and if you have kids, they get domestic fees or free education in New Zealand. So, good choice to consider PhD in New Zealand. Thanks for sharing your number. Our team will get in touch with you. So you go ahead and talk to them, and we'll make this thing happen for you. All right, cool. I'm just checking to see if my team has given me any other updates. Alrighty, here we go. Shamjir M, who shared his number and friend number as well. Oh, that's brilliant, Shamjir. We only want your number, but you've shared your friend's number as well. All right, cool. He says, hi, sir. Last time I had a question regarding to study in Techtorium. I would like to reconsider it. I have another query. One of my friend applied logistic management, but his agent took other course and applied for visa. Is it possible to withdraw visa application and change college? Good questions, Shamjir. And if your friend actually wanted to go for a course, but the agent changed it, I think you have to be very, very careful, because it's not right that the agent chooses what course you guys come to. I mean, it is the duty of a good, honest agency or company to put all the options in front of you, and then you guys have to make the call. So, absolutely, I think if the visa has been filed, there is still a chance to withdraw it and apply again and have a good, proper discussion about what kind of course. So, team, whoever is following the chat, I would like one of you to get on the phone immediately with Shamjir, who also says he is willing to reconsider Techtorium. And I'm glad about that, Shamjir, because like I told you, I mean, I don't have any ill will towards Techtorium, but I never heard about it. So I've been in this industry for 14, 15 years. So if it is one of those institutions which stands out and is something that we would happily recommend our students to go to, I would have honestly spoken to you about it. But which is why I was cautioning you and saying you might want to look at other options. And your friend also looks like he's being pushed into something which he doesn't like doing. So, which is not a good thing, because after you come here and you're trying to change, gets a little messy. So you want to avoid all that. This is like something which needs to be done right the first time. You should not try and fix it after you come to New Zealand. So very glad, Shamjir and friend, for choosing to consult with us. We will happily give our most honest information and try to put you guys into the right choices that you want, and continue to provide our support as well. All right, thanks, Shamjir. Hi, HT Peregrine. That's a lovely name. Hi, Arun Saab. I'm AJV client. I would like to ask you a question about my career objective in New Zealand. First and foremost, Peregrine, thank you so much for choosing to work with AJV. Much, much appreciated. I'm a logistics professional from the Philippines and currently based in the UAE, and has more than 10 years of solid experience in warehouse management, transportation, and distribution. What do you think is my chances of getting a permanent residency in New Zealand through Student Pathway? Received my offer from Wintech and completing my documents for visa application. Hey, Peregrine, because you have such a beautiful amount of work experience behind you, I think you will actually find it quite easy because you come with that extra confidence of somebody who's already worked outside your country in another foreign country, and you're going to be in New Zealand coming in as a student. So you're not jumping into the deep end of the pool overnight. You have that, 1 year buffer zone for you to begin to understand what New Zealand is all about. How does this country work? What are the things to do, not to do, where to go, what not to do? So you're creating that nice buffer for yourself. And after you complete the course, of course, you have your post study work visa, and with the amount of experience you have, and I can also see from the way you've written your query that your English is right up there. So I think all these attributes are falling together quite well. And at the moment we are having a good, nice, strong influx of Filipinos into New Zealand. So the acceptance of your background is also quite good in this country at the moment. So and then of course we guys are there too on the ground. If you're coming to Wintech to study in New Zealand, that's exactly the same city where I am as well, and it's not too far away. Unfortunately, I missed meeting some of our students in the last get together they had, but we're all in the same city. If you want to catch up sometime, we guys can have a catch up, and kind of give you more, advice. So all things considered, Peregrine, I think you're very well poised to achieve your long-term objective of getting residency in New Zealand. So all the very best, and we will stand by you and continue to advise you. And yeah, absolutely, we'll be very, very pleased to work with you. All right, thank you. And Nazar's Nizar, my team just confirmed, Nizar, that you're already talking to one of my colleagues called Neha. So, but we are still waiting for your documents. So, if you would be so kind as to scan your documents and send it across, and all you've got to do is that you've got all you need is a phone with application or an app on it called Cam Scanner, which I think is one of the most brilliant apps that I work with all the time, and it scans so beautifully. So you don't even need a big scanner like that. All you need is your phone and put it on your documents and use your cam scanner, make a PDF and send it along, and there you've taken your first successful step towards New Zealand. All right, guys and girls. So it's not that difficult, guys. You just have to stop being lazy. That's all. All right, cool. Okay. Satya is asking me another question. Satya says, I'm graduated in hospitality management, 3 years degree program, passed out in 2006. I want to do master's in any trades. So the gap studies will affect my admission. Not really, Satya. Gaps have never been a problem either for admission or for visa processing. And that's what I have seen in my 15 years of experience. So absolutely no problem. Sorry, guys, about my constant throat clearing, but I just came out of a cold, so trying to take care of that. I've been a naughty boy last week. I smoked a few cigarettes, and that made it worse. So I need to be a bit careful. Next question is from Ahmed Mahfouz, and he asks, if I do 1 year PG diploma and then 1 year master's course, then I can apply directly PR because 2 years study in New Zealand and must have masters. Good question, actually. Yeah, more than likely, Ahmed, because very good question, actually. Somebody is very angry with me that I spoke last week. I can see those angry faces going up my screen. But anyway, I'm not a big smoker, guys. I just do it when I'm out having some fun. All right. A man is entitled to his little pleasures. Okay. So yeah, I think it's a good query actually because the postgraduate diploma in most instances is like the first years of a master's. So when people do join for a master's, 2 years master's, and for whatever reason they kind of eject themselves out of the program after the first year, by and large they walk away with a postgraduate diploma. So yeah, I think you're pretty good in the way you have planning it. PGD and the masters is, yeah, I think we should be able to work it towards that final goal for you to be able to make a resident visa application. But like I said, I'm just reeling it off at the top of my mind. I will need to get into the details of the law, but more than likely, yeah, you should be all right. Okay, cool. Okay, next question is from Renu. And says, "Hi Arun, I'm an HIV student. Hi, Renu. Always a pleasure to say hi to my students. After certified diploma, is it possible to go for level 8, 9 course? Yeah, I mean, again, I don't see any reason because diplomas normally will be either 5 or 6. But then if it's a graduate diploma, like, this one, for instance, which is right over my head, that's my, actually not even a diploma, so my graduate certificate, which was also level 7. So yeah, and then, if I want to go for a level 8, I think, excuse me, I should be able to get into that. So yeah, the simple answer to your question is, yeah, you should be able to keep moving up that ladder of levels. So I don't see any problems with that. All right, Reno. Cool. And Reno, I got some feedback about you from my team, and they say that you are awaiting offers from Wintech, and you already have a postgrad has you already have an offer for postgraduate diploma in professional accounting from AUT, but you did not get the required IELTS score, unfortunately, which is a little sad because that is a very, very good program, by the way, which is the PG Diploma in Professional Accounting from AUT is a fantastic course. If there is some way you would want to go back and write your IELTS again and get back into that, I would strongly recommend it because it does you come across as a lady who would like to keep progressing in your academic ladder. So hey, look, if it means that you kind of go back and redo the IELTS, I think you should, because I'm sure you're somebody who will be able to crack a good score in IELTS. And sometimes you're in a tense situation, or you're not mentally prepared to get the right to approach the IELTS or the PTA exam, and that's the reason also you might lose out a little bit. But my recommendation right now is try and get back and do that IELTS again. But if it's too much of a problem, my team and I, we will see what is it we can get you into if you're still not able to qualify for that postgraduate diploma. All right, don't worry, you're in safe hands, and we will take care of you right here. Some feedback about Ahmed as well. Okay, right. Okay, Ahmed, I got a feedback about you, Ahmed Mafusa, the Mafus, that you've been in touch with my colleague Ruben, and that there has been a lot of interaction that has been going on, but you're still kind of, I think, waiting for the decision to be made about sending your documents and stuff like that. You're yet to send your documents is something my team has just confirmed to me. There you go. I tell you what, I'll just save myself some breath, and you can read what my team has said, that you have been in touch with Ruben for 4 months, and enough discussions. So send your documents. Let's get started. I mean, don't worry about any pressure coming on you just because you sent your documents. We will not put any pressure, but let's just get started. All right. Cool. Naveen Vinay, sir, I'm a civil engineer. Is New Zealand a good option for me to study and settle? Simple answer, yes, absolutely. We are looking at attracting civil engineers into New Zealand at this moment. We have a big construction boom happening in the country, not just in houses and offices and buildings, but also in infrastructure, which is the reason the government came out with a whole new skill shortage list specifically for the building, construction, and infrastructure industry. So, absolutely, Navin, I think it is the right time for civil engineers and a lot of other engineers to consider coming into New Zealand, because we are actually having quite a serious shortage of engineers at the moment. And what better way to pathway yourselves into a beautiful future life in New Zealand other than coming through the study pathway, make that investment, come and study, get your post study work visa, find a job because there are adequate opportunities based on that, apply for your residency, and you live the rest of your life in one of the most beautiful countries on earth, just like how I do. And that's the reason, with a lot of passion, I invite all of you beautiful people out there to also consider doing the same thing. So, yeah, that'll be very cool, Naveen. And so, wait for a call from my team, Naveen, and please interact with them because, hey, look, we are here to help you. And, together we can make this thing happen and create a good pathway for you in the future. All right. Okay. I'm just going to share this one more time. Okay, everybody who doesn't know how to get in touch with Team AJV, that's what you guys do. If you're based in India, which is where a lot of our clients are coming from at the moment, please use that toll free number. But as I keep saying, we are not a company that caters only to Indian clients. No, we work with everybody. We have been fortunate to have Brazilian clients, Chinese clients, Singaporean clients, clients out of Africa, clients out of Europe, clients out of North America, clients out of everywhere. So Sri Lankans, some wonderful Sri Lankan clients, Pakistani clients, Bangladeshi clients. So we have clients from everywhere. So please do not think that somehow we're only working with Indian students or clients. That's because, by and large, that's been the majority of our inquiries. So that's why we're working with them. But hey, look, we are here to help any deserving person who has got the talents that New Zealand requires, and we are there to provide that pathway for you. All right, cool. Kunjan Jadeja asks, "Hey Arun, my husband has already filed ITA in December. How long will it take? If required, I'm happy to pay you for any advice." Okay, Kunjan, your question is not very clear because I'm not sure if you're talking about EOI or ITA, because if you put an EOI, then the ITA comes later. EOI is being the expression of interest, and ITA being the invitation to apply. So I'm not sure from your question what exactly is the situation, but if you guys already filed an EOI with the expression of interest, and then you were invited to apply, which is the ITA, which is the invitation to apply, and you have already filed that, then yeah, I mean, it'll take its own time, and there is a bit of reorganization of some of the immigration New Zealand teams, because of which they're kind of figuring out which applications go to which office. So there's been a few delays. And hey, look, if you want to talk to us and get some advice, may I suggest that you get in touch with that one, that number there. So you just put a +64 in front of that. If you put +64 and 22605261 that actually comes to Mary, who is my senior colleague as well as fellow licensed advisor who also lives here in Hamilton. And yeah, she's the person who kind of picks up all these initial queries. And yeah, we'd be happy to provide our paid advice because it looks like you really want to get some advice from us. We're happy to help you, Kunjan. All right, cool. Okay, this question, Chandu Moa. Hey, Chandu, I remember you from yesterday when I was answering my FB inbox messages. And yeah, I remember your name quite clearly, Chandu. But anyway, I'm happy to answer your question. I hope you're already in touch with my team. Team, just confirm to me if Chandu is already in touch with one of us, because I remember he also shared his number, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So Chandu wants to pursue a PG diploma in web development. I have 2.5 years of experience and I have master's degree in US from stream of electrical engineering. What about the life of web developer in New Zealand? Very good. I think new technologies, emerging technologies, web technologies is something that New Zealand is wanting to grow quite a lot. And web development. Thanks, I. Web development obviously is something that contributes a lot to New Zealand as a country, because you must remember we are this island nation in the South Pacific, and for us to be able to interact with the rest of the world, like how I'm doing right now, sitting in my office in Hamilton and talking to all you wonderful people, is through web technologies. So absolutely good scope, because for New Zealand, which is also a hugely export orientated country, we do need to get out through web technologies and be able to connect with the rest of the world. Yours truly being a good example right now. So, hey, look, I think the scope is good, Chandu, and because you've already initiated a discussion with our team, we would be happily taking it forward from there. And yeah, I've been told that you're having a chat with my colleagues Aniket as well as Neha and Nisha, sorry. And yeah, so whoever you're more comfortable with, you want to go ahead and forward your documents, do that, and we'll take it forward from there. All right, cool. Alex, Sam, I'm working with one of the best wine company in the world here in Hawke's. Thanks, Alex. Please send me some free bottles. Can you please explain about work to residency program? There is no possible way to get PR with my salary scale right now. $25 per hour scale is so hard to get to apply for PR. I want my post-study work visa. I got 3 more years of visa. Okay, Alex, if you were an AJV student, we would have given you tons of free information and free advice and told you how we can go forward from there. But because you're not an AJV student, I would recommend you give a call to Mary on that number and have a discussion about your situation. Yeah, or you can send your email there to that particular email address. Have a discussion with Mary, share some more details about your background, and we will try to see if that salary thing can be kind of looked at and presented in a different angle. So I would strongly recommend, Alex, that you get in touch with Mary, 022 605 2615. Send her a text, connect with her. We will assess more and then come back to you. All right, cool. All right. What else? I'm just trying to see if I missed anybody. Hey, team, if I missed anyone of our AGB clients, please ping me so that I can ensure that I answer my AJB clients. Cool. Pooja Marva Hall wanted to inquire if I can come at long-term work visa. I have around 20 years of work experience. I'm into quality improvement profile. Pooja, share your number. We'll get in touch with you and examine your profile and see if we can give you any help. All right? Cool. Akshay Kumar. Akshay, I think, is one of ours. Yep. Excellent. Akshay, sir, how is the job chances after doing a level 7 course on accounting and the PR chances? Hey, Akshay, job chances, as I keep saying, accounting is also again one of those critical areas for any economy, for any country, for any economy to move forward. Accountants are required, priests are required, lawyers are required. So accounting as a field is pretty strong here in New Zealand. One of my recommendations to you, Akshay, because I know you've already started your process with us and you're looking at coming early next year, which is great, and you're starting at the right time. I would strongly recommend to you, Akshay, is to also start studying. If you can take some tutorials on an accounting package called Zero, which is XERO Zero, as well as another accounting package called MYOB, which is short form for Mind Your Own Business. These are the two most commonly used accounting packages here in New Zealand. And in fact, AJV Services is on Zero, by the way, and it's an amazingly beautiful system and one of our biggest success stories out of New Zealand as well. So not only will you get a good, course from either Welltech or NMIT or RO or one of the places where you're applying, but if you can also additionally add more layers to your knowledge by understanding more about Zero and MYOB, I think you'll be very well placed to go for that future job, Akshay. And we will, from our side, we will also connect you to some of our previous students who have completed their courses in accounting and picked up jobs and are already working. So we will definitely connect you to them. And hey, look, once you do that course and you're able to confidently move forward and get a relevant job, getting the chances of getting your residency or PR, as you guys like to call it, is also going to be a smooth transition. And along that whole journey, we are always there to pick up the phone, talk to me, talk to Mary, talk to Virginia, and we are all there, to guide and take you along. So thank you so much for choosing to work with AJV, Akshay, and I think it's a good course choice, and we will, work through it one step at a time. All right, cool. Right, Weapon Vijay, have the immigration. I'm just reading an update about you, Weapon, from my team before I answer your question. Okay. So has the immigration started to call students who have submitted visa on January for July intake? Okay, Weapon, yes, I just got an update from our team leader who looks after, there you go. That's the update I got about your Weapon. And it says, yeah, that's what it says, which is that, yeah, we have been sending constant reminders, but because July is still a little away. They were taking some time because they're trying to clean up some of the previous backlog of applications from January, February, March, and then there are also some intakes in April and May as well, and some small ones in June. So they kind of try to do it sequentially, but don't worry, it's only a matter of time. In fact, one of our senior managers in India, who's recently been appointed, if you guys go to our Facebook group or to my personal Facebook, you'll see I posted a thing saying that Tanuva Majumdar is now country manager for India. Now this lady herself is an ex-immigration officer and somebody very senior. She worked with Immigration New Zealand for 22 years, and she was instrumental in a lot of things that happened in India with Immigration New Zealand. So we are very proud to have her, and very grateful to have her now as part of the team in India. And so Thanua is planning to also have a meeting with the processing office in Mumbai, so that we kind of go and present ourselves as a company which is essentially working with INZ. We are not working against them; we are working with them, and we are both kind of traveling in the same direction for the same purpose. So we are undertaking all these kinds of initiatives from our side. And I also here locally in New Zealand keep attending various conferences and meetings and keep interacting with senior immigration officials. We want them to know that AJB and INZ can be good partners, because we are absolutely here for the good of New Zealand as well. And that's the reason we exist as a company, because we will not do anything that is detrimental to the interests of New Zealand. And that's the message we want to send to all our institutions, to immigration, to education New Zealand, and anybody else who wants to know what we are all about. So don't worry, Vipin, you're in safe hands, and we will push this forward for you. All right, cool. All right, gosh, this is tiring, guys. Somebody needs to pay me more for doing this job. Team, are you hearing me? Yeah, I need a bigger salary. Next question. Sanaullah, how to apply for Masters in Network Engineering. Good subject, good course, good level. Share your number, Sana. I think you did. Okay, brilliant. And you've shared your email address. Thank you, Sana. How to apply for Masters in Network Engineering? You need to have a bachelor's that would provide the the foundation for you to be able to get into the masters, obviously. So what you could do, Sana, is our team will get in touch with you, and we will collect your documents and see whether you have the right attributes, the right background subject, and of course you will require an IELTS. And in this instance, because you're planning to go for a masters, you need to get an IELTS with no of 6.5 and academic, with no band score lower than 6. So that is the absolute requirement for a master. So we'll get in touch with you and make an assessment of all these things, and we will see how it goes from there. All right, cool. Badal Parmar cinematography. Guys, I need to cough again, so please excuse me. Sorry. Badal Parmar cinematography says, "Hello, sir. I choose healthcare course in New Plymouth. So can you tell me I choose right way or not?" Badal, I have no clue what your background is, but I'm a little concerned in your YouTube title, or your name. You have Badal Parmar cinematography, which kind of indicates to me that your real passion is cinema and film and television. So why the heck are you choosing a health course, man? I don't get it, to be honest. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know if you put that word cinematography just for the heck of having it in your YouTube name. But if you are a guy with a real passion for cinema and film and television, really, I think you're heading down the wrong path, doing a healthcare course. But if you are a guy with a background in health, which I would doubt, because if you are a guy with a background in health, you'll probably have a name which said Badal, Parmar, nurse, or doctor, or whatever, not cinematography. So I'm a little concerned for you, my friend. So I would say get on the phone, talk to my team, have a good, proper discussion. That's how you can get in touch with my team. If you're in India, call that toll free number. If you're not in India, send us an email, or if you're already in New Zealand, the lady to get in touch with is this wonderful lady called Mary Joseph, who also lives in Hamilton. Cool. All right. How are we doing on time? My colleague Navya has been typing for a very long time now. Navya, please type before I turn 60. I need to get done with whatever you're typing. I'm the joker in my team, by the way. So everybody, I'm the one who's pulling everybody's leg. Dharma, how am I doing on time? It looks like I'm. Oh wow, that was a big one from uh, Navya. Okay. I'm just going to read that, guys, because it's a very nice, big, long message from Navya, who is our team leader for visas, student visas, and she's also an ex-immigration officer from the Delhi branch of Immigration New Zealand. So, yeah, we're very proud and delighted to have all these wonderful professionals on our team now. Okay, all right. I'll come to that question first, which is all right. Okay. I'm going to answer a question from somebody called Tendel Makuwerere. Good day, Jacob. I'm working with HIV. May you please clarify the requirements to support relationship if sponsor is a friend of the funds reflect in an account in one transaction? Thank you in advance. All right. Tender, the problem with your query is that your application will more than likely end up going to the Mumbai branch of Immigration New Zealand, and the Mumbai branch also sends out newsletters every once in a while and kind of tells us what are the acceptable funds and what are not acceptable funds. And they, in many instances in the past, they have told us that sponsors have to be like very immediate relatives, like parents or spouse or perhaps spouse's parents, because there's still a close relationship or a sibling. So there have been instances when they have turned down funds from a friend because they say there is not the same amount of relationship between the sponsor and the student application, and that is the reason. And that's what I got a very nice long message from our team leader, Navya, who herself, as I told you, is an ex-immigration officer. So, so she sent me a good explanation about what are the and just Navya and her team have also been writing to Immigration New Zealand, Mumbai, asking what is the acceptable sponsors from applicants out of Africa, and her response is that INZ Mumbai office is coming back with the same responses that they do for Indian students, saying that it is not very clear whether they will accept it. So give us another couple of days, and I think we will have another chat with them and try and extract some proper information. But as far as instructions are concerned, which is the immigration instructions, which is the law, it says friends, money from friends and family is acceptable. That's what it says. So legally, yes, you can accept from friends, but sometimes each branch also, kind of puts in place its own little, processes. So we will see if we can work around this, and we will come back to you very shortly. All right, cool. All right, guys. I am going to answer one last question. It's 7:33 already. I think I am. Okay, so my coming back to you, Tendai. Navya has written further. Uh, okay, Navya has written further, and she's come out with a very good technical, rebuttal to your question, which is. Uh, In cases where the funds submitted are not the student's own, it would be best to demonstrate clearly their relationship to the financial guarantor slash sponsor, and to be able to satisfy INC that the funds are genuinely available to them for their study. So if it is your friend's funds, for instance, Tendai, and let's say, and you say, yeah, yeah, but this guy's a very thick friend of mine, and if immigration says, hey, look, can you transfer, if that's how thick you guys are, can you transfer all the funds, your fees and living expenses into New Zealand and give us proof? If your friend is willing to do that, perhaps he'll be on stronger ground. So yours is a um, slightly one of those cases which we will need to spend a bit more time on. So after this, and there's also an observation from Navya, who like I said, is a equally competent person, and she says there's no way to prove relationship with a friend, so I don't think it'll be possible to prove that relationship, which is what we convey to them. But my take, because law can be interpreted in two, three different ways. So my interpretation is your friend so thick that he is willing to actually transfer the funds for your fee and your living expenses to New Zealand? You give us that clarification. And if you say yes, he is willing to do that, then we will actually have it all transferred, and we will take that proof of the transfer and put it along with your application and tell INC, hey, look, if you doubt the intensity of this or the commitment of this friendship, here is proof that the man is actually putting his money where his mouth is, and he has transferred the money to support tender. And I think in doing that, we can prove that there is a good, strong commitment. So that's one possible way we could address this particular situation as well. But you know what? I'm going to have a chat with my team anyway after this particular interaction, and we will see how we can help you best. All right. But can you see that, we are not people who just talk frivolously. We are thinking very deeply about each and every application that comes onto our tables, and we want to do the best for each and every one of you. So that's the reason, guys, you need to work with HAV, because if you guys are going to go somewhere and and then land here and say, "Oh, I wish I was with HAV." Too late, my friends. You lose me as a friend. Okay, cool. Okay, one last question. Neha Luthra, hi Arun. I already processed Masters in Information Technology from Fitiraya through HAV. We are in doubt regarding dependent job in IT, web development. We are a young family and bit scared about job as we are coming with our daughter. Also, I would like to know about family health insurance cost. Hey Neha, don't be too nervous. Don't be too but I understand, when I came to New Zealand, I also let go of a fantastic job in India. I was, regional head for a large multinational corporation. So it was a big challenge and, we came here, and then, almost immediately I realized my wife was expecting. So it was like out of, something that we had to cope with. And so there were, in fact, the other day I was sharing my story with some of my colleagues who came home to have dinner with me, and they were like, wow, we also such a challenging story. And yeah, I'm not, so there will be some challenges, Neha, and that's exactly why we are here for you guys. So don't be too perturbed. You guys, you're coming for a master's in information technology. Great. Your spouse has already got web development background. Fantastic. You're coming with a kid, who will love it. I'm telling you, your kid is going to love New Zealand. So don't be too tense. I understand there will be tension, but look at me. I'm looking at you in the eye today and telling you, don't worry, it will fall into place. There will be challenges, but once it falls into place, you'll love every moment of it. All right. Thanks for choosing AGV. Really, really appreciate it. All right, guys. Last question from Gopinath, because he says mm, he's an AGV student. All right. Hi Arun, how are you doing? I'm an AGV student working with Anne and Aniket. My application got rejected from University of Canterbury. Tell me about Wintech and some of its of IT courses in Christchurch. Hey Gopi, if University of Canterbury rejected your application, it is not the end of the world. Yes, it is a good institution, and we would have loved to get you into that. But it is a one of the most prestigious universities, and they have their own internal processes as to how they select students. But don't worry, because if it is not the University of Canterbury, so be it. We will find other alternates for you. And if you're mentioning Wintech, which is right down the road for me, by the way, fantastic institution, not a problem. One of my colleagues who was working with AJV till recently was also a guy who had solid experience in IT, came and did I think he did a postgraduate diploma or a graduate diploma from Wintech. And then he started working full time for HAV. He was actually building some software for us, but then recently he found another fantastic job, and he quit and went away. If Prakash is hearing, he can confirm it by typing. But no, I mean, don't worry about it. It's only University of Canterbury, because in New Zealand, employers really don't care whether you're coming from a particular university or a particular city, and those kinds of. So they're very flexible in their minds, and and very open to accepting people, as long as that person can sit across the table and and convince them and give them that confidence, saying, hey, yeah, look, this is the guy who can get the job done for. That's all it is. That's all that matters is, can you get the bloody job done? That's really what it boils down to. All right, guys. So it is that time of my session when I ring the bell and say thank you very much, as always, for listening to my live sessions. I hope you like them. Please tell me if there are things I can do to make it better, more interactive. But as always, a huge thank you for everybody who follows my work and and that of my team. Yeah, we would love to work with you and create your pathways into New Zealand. It's simple. Email us, call us, text us, WhatsApp us, Facebook us, do whatever you like, but just get in touch with us if you have a dream of moving to New Zealand, and we'll make the dream come true in the most honest and professional way forward. And we would love to make friends out of all of you after you reach New Zealand. All right. Good night, as always, or I'll teach you a Maori word, which is po marie, which is good night, and kakite ano, which is see you later. Till the next time, Arun Jacob signing off from Hamilton, New Zealand. Bye bye.